You are being invited to a system, an invitation to a system. Now, I know a lot of y'all definitely not gonna like this video, mainly church folks, and that's cool. I still love you. But the truth have to be told. When I think about all the churches I have been through, went to, been to, you say it like that, all the programs, pastor and wife anniversary, musicians appreciation, choir annual, hat day, men's day, women's day, children's day, mission, choir rehearsal, I mean, you name it, etc., etc., etc. If you catch what I'm saying, you see a system. Most people don't want to look at it like this. I've been saying this for years. Most people know how to go to church, but don't know how to be the church. And I'm not talking about all churches. I'm not talking about all pastors. But you hear me oftentimes say this one thing right here. Tradition of men makes the word of Yah void. Traditions of men. And in churches, it's a lot of tradition. This is why I've been talking so much about 501c3. I've been talking about programs. I've been talking about the mark of the beast. Well, if you caught the live chat I just did, we was talking about the beast system. Well, what do you think church is? Y'all remember that old video I did called One World Religion, One World Government? And I was talking about how Satan rules through religion. Do you know exactly what I'm talking about? And we've been talking about this for years on here, and years. But when you, and all this about having a revival, I said this years ago, made a whole lot of preachers mad when they saw it. When I said, you don't plan a revival, and a revival is not for an unbeliever. All this, get the people, if they're unbeliever, bring them to church. We trying to pack. See, it's always churches trying to pack the house out. But what are you inviting folks back to see? If you got the same people in position doing the same thing year after year, same programs, installational service, come on, y'all. But you always talking about inviting people, and most of y'all know y'all got a church full of confusion. So what is the invitation for? Confusion. But then you want to preach on folks when they leave the church building. You've been invited to a system that's programmed and been operating the same way for years. That's why you don't ever see growth. You don't see it in these type of churches. And that go to show you what type of pastor that they have. You are being programmed through your church building by your pastor. People kill me with this, man, we got to do missionary. You ain't missionary, you stationary. You ain't doing nothing for the community. You ain't even trying. I'm not talking about all once again. So when you say invite your neighbors, what are you really giving people to look forward? What are they looking forward to? The gay man on the organ? I'm just being real, y'all. The lying prophets? I ain't talking about everybody building, but y'all know the majority is operating just as what I'm talking about. But some of y'all just scared to say it and admit it. Some of y'all are coming out of the building and the preacher preaching on you, mad at you because you left the building. And getting mad because you done ran into the truth now. You done found out that everything you've been doing, everything you've been a part of, ain't been about nothing but a lie and tradition. Well, I'm talking about the invitation now that Christ sent out over how many years ago? You've been invited to the real body. But the question is, have you accepted it? How are you living? It's so sad to see all these buildings that operate and you don't see hardly nobody being born again. There's something wrong with that. But it is what it is. There's something wrong with the teachings. And there's something wrong when people don't want to study to show they self-approving unto the Most High. So I just thought about that for a moment. What invitation to what? It's Ursula's Day. Choir annual. Man, I got so sick of the same thing year after year. That's why I'm talking about what's real, y'all. You invite, just say it's quiet in you. Man, we're gonna invite 7 churches. You invite 7 churches and maybe 3 of them will show up. You invite 6 solo artists and only 2 of them show up. And then you know how the routine go. They come to your church service, and then when they have one, you go to their church service. Hey, we'll be over there at 3:30. What have we been doing all these years? Come to mind at 3:30. Well, we got pastor and wife anniversary. Y'all know how the game go. And then you ask yourself, what do any of this have to do with eternal life? What do any of this have to do with kingdom building? What do it have to do with salvation? Learned behavior. They gonna say this dude sound like a hater, man. There he go again. My point is, you should be tired of the same program system in most of these church buildings. Most of them teaching lies. They won't tell you the truth, but they'll tell you tradition. Most of them don't want to stand on the Old Testament, but they'll stand on tithing. So what, you gotta ask yourself, what have I been doing? What have I been listening to, and who have I been listening to? What am I doing? Most people are having a wake-up call right now, and they woke on what's really going on out here. And they asking questions now. And it's making a lot of preachers mad why most of these preachers are being exposed. So you've been invited to a system that's really a part of the beast system if you think about it. This is like a part 2 of the video I did about Satan has many churches. Satan got so many churches up, y'all, many pastors, many people, period. And the real people are being overlooked. The ones that's truly laboring are being overlooked a lot of times. But it's these satanic churches that most people are calling praise and worship. You have been invited to a system that's been rolling that way for a long time. You got your church bylaws. Just like I told y'all on live chat, what do you need for a system? I like when somebody said the Constitution, laws. Well, what do you see in church? Bylaws, church covenant, church mission statement, and half of them, they got the mission statement, don't even stick to the mission of the statement, or the statement. This is not a hatred video, family. This is a wake-up call. Because the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm talking to so many people who have finally gotten fed up, and they have left the building, and the preacher preaching on them why they left. Well, they wasn't for the church, no way. They wasn't for the mess in your building. They for the church. They for the body. They for the called out ones. They not talking about your building that's got the confusion in there. Yah is not the author of confusion. Shalom, family.